Unmute your microphone and say good afternoon, classmates. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. Do you say good afternoon to your classmates?
Good afternoon, teacher.
Say good afternoon. Say good afternoon to your classmates. Yeah, good afternoon, classmates. Okay, thank you. Now let me share to you my screen. Okay, so this afternoon, we will learn the steps to solve word problems in multiplication. But before that, I'd like everybody to remind that don't forget to sign up or send or submit your attendance. So once again, my name is Teacher Gwapo and I'm your math teacher. Now, this one, why is it addition with 10? I forgot to edit this one. This would be multiplication. So our objective for today is to solve word problems involving multiplication. This one should be multiplication. I forgot to edit that one. Okay, here we go. Solving word problems. So be attentive because later I will give you a thing to do after or right after our class. But some of the questions I'm gonna help you how to answer. Okay. Now, here are the steps to solve word problems. So there are 5 steps, but the most important here is step 1 to 4. Step number 5 is for checking. So here we go. Step number 1. Step number 1, of course, in a word problem, there is a word. So you have to read the problem. Now, in your book, you have there in your book that on page 45, you can see there the example about the number of eggs. So you have to read it carefully. And then step number 2, you have to understand the problem. When we say understand, you have to ask yourself, what do I know about the problem? Okay, same in addition and subtraction. What is the problem is all about? Okay, what do you know about the problem? And second one, what do you need to find out in the problem? What is the question is all about in the problem? Just like there in your book on page 45, the question there is how many eggs are there altogether? So the question here, you need to find out the number of eggs. And the key word there is altogether. When we say altogether, you have to combine all, okay? All, everything. And step number 3, you have to plan the working. Now, this is the most important thing here, because if you don't know what plan or what workings you're going to use, you might use the wrong what we call it one symbols, like you might use addition or subtraction or multiplication. But here, since we are in multiplication, it's nothing to worry. So you have to decide right away that we will use the multiplication. Okay, so the operation that we will use is times. So that's it. And step number 4, that's the time that you will solve the problem. But don't solve the problem if you don't understand. You have to understand the problem first. What do you need to find out in the problem? And then that's the time that you will decide what operation to use. And then if you know how to check, you can check. But later in our coming classes, maybe next week or maybe next meeting, we will learn how to check the answer. Okay, now here we go. Step number 5 is check the answer. Now let's see, for example here. We will use the example in your book. Okay, in your book, you will see there about the eggs. So let us read all together. Can you read it with me? Ready? There are, ready, go. There are 236 eggs in a box. Okay, there are, again, everybody, there are 236 eggs in a box. And if there are 7 such boxes, how many eggs are there altogether? So there are 7 boxes and each box has 236 eggs. Now, let us do it. First, we will write the mathematical sentence. We will write here 236 times 6. Okay. Why is it 6? It must be 7. Oh, it must be 7. I'm sorry. So this is 7. Let me edit first. Let me cross out this one. This is 7. Okay, 7. So 236 times 7 is equals to blank. So you need to find out here. So let's say, for example, next here is, sorry. Okay. Now, next one, we will write here the number of eggs. As we see in the problem that there are, or the number of eggs in a box is 236 eggs, right? And then number of boxes, how many boxes? There are 7 boxes. Now what we need to do is just multiply. So here the total number of egg is 236 times 7 is equals to 1,657. Where did we get this one, the 236? This is the number of eggs in a box. Okay, one box. When you say a box, that means one box. And here, how many boxes? 7. So we write here, number of boxes is 7. So we have here 7. So we multiply with times. 236 times 7 is equals to 1,652. Now here, the answer is there are 1,652 eggs. Now let's try here in letter A. Okay, letter A. Let me erase this one first. Now in letter A, here, what is the problem in letter A? The problem in letter A, let us read all together. If you can read it there, just read it there with me. Okay, Charles wants to make chocolate cookies for a school fun fair. And then if he makes 243 cookies in a day or in one day, how many chocolate cookies can Charles make in 9 days? Okay, now here we will write the multiplication or mathematical sentence. We just write here that 243 times 9. Where is this 243 comes from? This is the number of chocolates that Charles can make in one day. So multiply, how many days is he going to make? 9 days. So we write here, number of cookies in a day is 243. Okay, 243 cookies. And then we will multiply to the number of days. How many days? 9 days. So that is in your book, page 45. Okay, page 45 in your book. Page 45, letter A. So that's the arrangement of the solution. First, mathematical sentence, 243 times 9. And then number of cookies in a day is 243 cookies. When you say a day, that means one day. And how many days? Number of days is 9 days. So we will just multiply 243 times 9 so that we will know the number of cookies in 9 days. Total number of cookies. So 243 times 9 is equals to 2,187. So the answer here, there are 2,187 cookies. Okay, so that's it. That's for letter A. Okay, letter A. Now in letter B, in your book, okay, that is on page 46. Okay, page 46. In page 46, here, in page 46, don't worry, I will send it to you later, the recorded video. On page 46, letter B, let me read the story. John makes 7 identical copies of his new book. How many copies of his new book? 7. Okay, so John makes 7 identical copies of his new book, and each copy has or contains 1,756 pages. One book, 1,756 pages. So the question here is, how many pages are there altogether? One book, 1,756 pages. And then how many books he had? He has 7 new books. Now our book here has only 214 pages. This book that we have, the workbook that you have has only 214 pages. Now John makes 1,756 pages in one book. Now we will write the mathematical sentence. In here, we will just write here 1,756 times 7. Again, 1,756 times 7. Now, we will write first the number of pages. How many pages? Each copy contains 1,756 pages, or let's say each book has 1,756 pages, just one book. Now, the question here is, how many pages are there altogether in 7 books? 7 books. Now, here we go. Now, we will multiply. Now, here we go. John makes 7 times 1,756 is equals to 12,292. So in 7 books, there are 12,292 pages. Wow. So many, a lot. Maybe the book is very thick. Okay, very thick, because this book that we have is only 214 pages, but John makes 1,756 pages in just one book. Now John makes 7 books, so in total there are 12,292 pages altogether. Altogether, all the books that he made. So that's it for letter B. Okay, letter B. Now let's proceed in letter C. Are you finished? Nana is finished, right? Okay. Now letter C. In letter C, what is the story all about in letter C? Letter C is about the cars. Maybe most of you likes to have a car. Okay. Now here in letter C, this is the solution, or this is the story. An auto plant is a company where they are producing cars, okay? Like Toyota Plantation. Toyota Plantation produce many cars. Honda Plantation, they produce cars. What else? Mitsubishi, Isuzu, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, okay, sports car. Now, this auto plant can produce 7,895 cars each year. In 1 year, 7,895 cars. Wow, so many. Now, the question here is, how many cars can it produce in 5 years? Because in 1 year, the auto plant can produce 7,895 cars. Now we will know in 5 years, okay, 5 years. So what we need to do here is we will just multiply, okay? We will just multiply. So the mathematical sentence here is 7,895, okay? This is the number of cars produced in a year, in 1 year. This is the number of cars or auto plant can produce. 7,895 times how many years? Times 5. Okay, times 5, because 5 years. The question here is how many cars it can produce in 5 years. Now here we go. Let us write it here. It says here, number of cars in a year is 7,895 cars. Again, number of cars in a year is 7,895 cars just in 1 year. Now we will multiply in 5 years. Number of cars will be in 5 years. So we will just multiply 7,895 times 5. So the total number of cars, okay, total number of cars here is 7,895 times 5 is equal to 39,475. Okay, so this is the number of cars in a year, 7,895, and in 5 years, okay, we will multiply in 5 years. So it is equals to 39,475 cars. Wow, so many cars. Okay, so many cars. That's why every year the car, the model change every year. So the answer here in letter C is the auto plant. Okay, answer here, the auto plant can produce 39,475 cars. Again, an auto plant can produce 39,475 cars. So many cars. Okay, now let's go. We will proceed to letter D. What is the story in letter D? Okay, in letter D. Here in letter D, it's like in letter B. Almost the same in letter B. Okay, in letter A, I mean in letter B, it's about number of pages. One page has 1,756 pages in letter B, right? Letter B is about pages. Like your book here, this one is pages. Page 1, page 2, page 3. Now, in letter D, okay, in letter D, it's about letters. Okay, letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so about letters. Just like how many letters are there in a word cars? Cars has 4 letters, right? C-A-R-S, cars. Now in letter D, here, in letter D, it's about letters, okay? It's about the number of letters here. Letters in a single page. When we say single page, in one page, okay? One page only. One page has 4,345, okay? One page, 4,345. Now here, if there are 7 pages, 7 pages, how many letters there will be? Because one page, 4,345. How about in 7 pages? Now what we need to do here, we will write the mathematical sentence. So we will multiply. So 4,345 times 5. Okay, so 4,345 times 5. And then we will write here. There are how many letters? So we will just copy this one. Okay, we will just copy this one. The number of pages here. Okay, we will just copy and just write this one, these words. So we just copy and then we will write it there. This one. Okay, finish. Okay, here we go. Just write this one. There are 4,345 letters in a single page. Just copy and put it down here. Okay, next will be here. How many pages? There are 7 pages. There are 7 pages. So in 7 pages, how many what do we call this one? How many letters in 7 pages? How many letters? So we will just multiply. Okay, we will just multiply. So there are 30,415 letters. If we will multiply 4,345 into 7, it will give us an answer of 30,415. 30,415. So the answer here is there are 30,415 letters in such 7 or in 7 such pages. Okay, so right here, because 1 page 4,000, 7 pages 30,000. Okay, now letter D. Letter D, what is letter D all about? Guide, what can you tell me, guide, what is the letter D all about? In letter D, it's about the letters. How about in letter E? I mean letter E. It's about the
E. There are 46, 49,
400.
69,
Again, please.
469 mangoes in a box.
Okay.
If there are 8 shoes,
Such boxes.
How many mangoes are there altogether?
So here in letter E, it's about mangoes, right? It's about mangoes. Here in Thailand, the mangoes is very sweet. Very sweet. Thailand mangoes is very sweet. Now here, since it's all about mangoes, what is the question here? Who can tell me? What is the question here? Anyone from the class can tell me the question? iPhone, the nice name here. What is the question in letter E?
The question.
Yeah, what is the question in letter E? What are we going to find here?
469.
No, I mean the question. What is the question in letter E?
How many mangoes are there altogether?
Very good. So we will find the number of mangoes altogether. How many mangoes? If in one box has 469 mangoes, how many mangoes there will be in 8 boxes? Okay, because one box has 469 mangoes. Now there are 8 such boxes. So we need to find out first line. You have to write the mathematical sentence, which is 469 times 8. Okay, so the number of mangoes, one box only. Okay, one box, 469 mangoes in just one box. Okay, just one box, 469 mangoes. How many boxes? 8. That's why we write here in mathematical sentence 469 times 8. Okay, 469 times 8. Now here, first, number of mangoes in a box is 469 mangoes. Okay, again, number of mangoes in a box. When you say in a box, means one box. Okay, number of mangoes in a box is 469 mangoes. Now, next, what are we going to write next here? Okay, next will be number of boxes. How many boxes? 8 boxes, right? 8 boxes. So number of boxes here is 8 boxes. Okay. Now after that, we will just multiply. iPhone a while ago, he said that how many mangoes are there altogether? So how to find it? We just multiply times. Okay. So the total number of mangoes is 469 times 8. Okay. Number of mangoes, 469. Number of boxes, 8. So 469 times 8. So if we will multiply these two numbers, it will give us an answer of 3,752. Okay, 469 times 8 is equal to 3,752. Okay, go. Are you done? Okay, so that's it. Thank you. And homework. What is your homework? Answer page 48. Write the multiplication sentence. Okay, and find the short answer. Short answer only. Okay, short answer. For example, mathematical sentence and then the answer and then short answer. There are 6,000 liters of water in 8 such things. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening in our class today. God bless everyone. Bye-bye. You can say goodbye to your friends now. Okay. Everybody, say goodbye to your friends and see you next on Thursday. See you on Thursday. Okay, goodbye to your friends. Bye-bye. Unmute your microphone.
Teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, take a photo.
Yes, take a photo and send in our line.
Take a photo.
Page 48.
48 only.
Yeah, page 48 only.
48.
Yeah, page 48 only. The homework only.
No,
Homework.
46, no, 47.
No. Page 48 only. Okay. Page 48 only. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you on Thursday. Piper, goodbye.